hope that we have a better understanding now of the word fi sabilillah. So, our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not something outside of our love for each other. It's the love within the love. It's the truth of that love. How do I manifest my love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When I love you truly. That's the meaning of fi sabilillah. It means truly. You say, أحبك في الله, it means I love you truly. I love you truly. Not for material reason, not for a benefit that I am getting from you, but I love you truly. And that's the meaning of fi sabilillah. It's the love within the love. It's the life within the life. It's the truth in everything. That's Allah. That's how we can relate to Him. It's not a third party somewhere. Is it clear? I know that it is kind of, it was never presented to you in this way, but that's how it is. It's not a third party. Many people, they have that problem with fi sabilillah. A sister asked me a few months ago in UCAM, in the class, I said, I have a problem with this ikhlas, with this word fi sabilillah, for the sake of God. Why? It's just people, they tell me, no, you cannot serve your husband because you love him, or you cannot give someone, help someone because you love him. It has to be fi sabilillah. So how can I help someone without loving him? Without... No. I said, you are right. You are so right. How could you? It's not something that we can imagine. Whether you love him truly, and that's fi sabilillah, or you do not love him because you are abusing him, because you are loving him for your own taste. Fi sabilillah means selflessly. Forgive fi sabilillah means to forgive selflessly. Not because I am worried if I do not forgive you, I will lose my relationship with you, or I will get something in, no. Selflessly. Forgive fi sabilillah means for that person. Otherwise, what would be fi sabilillah? So, I'll forgive you. I don't care if you get destroyed after that. Oof. What kind of fi sabilillah is that? But that's our understanding, right? I will give it to you fi sabilillah. I don't care what do you do with it. I will forgive you fi sabilillah. I don't care what happens to you. What kind of fi sabilillah is it? No? Fi sabilillah means fi sabilika anta. For your sake, not for mine. For your interest, not for mine. And that's the meaning of fi sabilillah. And only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do that. That is the level of ikhlas al-mutlaq al-rabbani. He created us for our sake. One of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the selfless. I said it to some people. Oh, Allah is the self with the S. Yes, it's as that, but the small s, selfless. Is الذات العلية. تعالى ربك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون. Did He create us to? He said, إني خلقت خلقا ليربحوا علي لا لأربح عليهم. Sayyid Abdul Qadir Jilani used to say this a lot. He said, إن الله خلقنا لنربح عليه لا ليربح علينا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us so we gain from Him, not that He gains from us. What would He gain from us? He is the true haqq, selfless. Created us for us, gave us everything for us. Everything is for us. سخر لكم سخر لكم سخر لكم. Everything, even Himself. Call Him He's there, selflessly. How's the meaning of fi sabilillah? It means like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fi sabilillah. for your sake. For you. رحمة للعالمين. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the pure رحمة للعالمين. في سبيل الله. Even when he fought against Abu Jahl, it was for the sake of Abu Jahl. He was fighting for them, not against them. He never had someone against him he wants to destroy because he's so bothered with. No, it's for that person. So the brother was asking if how many people they say it now in, yeah, I'm not talking to my brother for his sake so he understands, so he may learn from his mistake or something like that. And he's saying, and then it breaks families because it goes forever. It goes for years. No, 40 days. Or ثلاثة أيام. Actually, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, لا يحل للمرء أن يسلم عليه أخوه فلا يرد عليه السلام أكثر من 3 أيام. You can do it for 3 days. They say sometimes it's more, that it can be more than that, depending on the depth of the relationship, but for their sake, what? For their sake. You have to refute that person, refute the gift for the sake of that person, sometimes refute, but not talking to the person or not visiting him for his sake, it became against his sake. Well, how could that be? When it started not benefiting, but what is it? And when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used that with these companions, he knew that they were ready for it. It's for their sake. He knew that they were ready for it when he did not do it like that. He did not do it with everyone else. He only did it with these 3 people because he saw that they had some foundation he could build on. They came to him and they did not lie to him. Everyone else lied to him. Those who lied to him said, these people are already broken and cannot keep. Actually, he gave them, those people who came and lied to him, he smiled to them and he made sure to give them more attention and he made sure to give them more chances to feel something. But the 3 people who did not lie to him, they were the 3 out of 17, at least. But they did not lie to him. They came, they told him, Ya Rasulullah, we did not come with you. It's not because we couldn't. Wallahi, we had all the means and we couldn't find ourselves in better situation to come with you and assist you. But Ya Rasulullah, we considered lying to you. We know that you are Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we have chosen to not lie to you. And oh, what a foundation. What a foundation. These people are muttaqeen. These people are seeking the truth. So they can become Siddiq. Welcome to the training. Welcome on board. You understand? How many acceptance takes the form of refusal or refutation. He accepted them in his school. And what is school? The school of Siddiqiyya. By the end of these 40 days, they became Siddiq. Allah mentioned their names and their story in the Quran, and their tawbah was specified. لقد تاب الله على النبي وعلى المهاجرين والأنصار وعلى المؤمنين وعلى الثلاثة الذين Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning them. These 3, not وعلى المؤمنين. And those 3 people, when they were left behind, and Allah is describing their tawbah and made it, they became Siddiqs, they became the saints of the Ummah of Muhammad. Amongst the companions, they had a high level. They became the saints of the Ummah. Sayyidina Ka'b ibn Malik and his companions. And when we read how did they die after that and what happened, Allahu Akbar. These people after that, they walked on water. These people after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning their tawbah with their name, specifically. So, because they were truthful, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam welcomed them to the training. But because they were ready, if you want to do something, is he ready? Is she ready to accept that refutation for the sake of Allah? For their sake. If they are not going to understand it is for their sake, it's an abuse. You have to be at least sure that if they do not understand it now, they will understand it later. You have to assess. And we see that with many shuyukh. We see their children, some of them, they do mistakes and the Shaykh is always smiling to his child. With another one, as soon as he does something like that, he punishes him in a way. Really, he wouldn't speak to him for days. And you ask, the first one wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take it. He just would, because he doesn't feel loved. He doesn't see me, Rahman, he doesn't see me there yet. He wouldn't take it. Why would I burden him with something that he couldn't take? But the second one, I'm sure he would take. Even if he will be in the beginning, his ego will manifest, but at some point he will understand it and he will take it. Sometimes you send a violent text message to your friend because you are sure that he will take it and it will make him a better person. And you are writing it with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and you are not cursing him. You are saying him, tak, tak, tak. This is it. That's not the way to deal with everyone else. If you know that he will not take it, why would you do it? That's it. هذا المعنى. So this is the answer. So it's an assessment. It's a deep thing. It's a weapon. We need to for sure know ourselves better. Or for their sake. You can claim it is for their sake as much as you want. But is it really for their sake or for the sake of your tashaffi, vengeance? What is vengeance? Vengeance. It is for the sake of vengeance. Is it really for their sake? You have to make sure. You have to know yourself better, first of all. And then you have to know the other one better too. What can he take? What could he take? What couldn't he or she take at that level? Wallahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Bismillah. Yes? Any other comment, question? You had something? Yes? في سبيل الله. سبيل means path. قل هذه سبيلي. سبيل means path. Means path leading to. Means path leading to. It also means the spring. The spring of water. السبيل. We call it سبيل also. Spring of water, if it is on the path, it's the same thing. Sabil is the water on the way that you find. It's not any water. It's not any spring. It is a spring that it is on the path. So it is Sabil. And the Sabil was called Sabil. They call it As-Sabil. They call it As-Sabil, the thing, because it is fi sabilillah. Because it is on the path and it was given for the sake of God, its name became As-Sabil. And in Tunisia, the robinet, what is it? The tap is called Sabbala. Because the first tap water that was created, it was put one in each town, and people will come. The Sabil will come and take it fi sabilillah for the sake. They made the Sabbala. So they started making Sabbala. So to have people, no. What is Sabbala? What is it? هكذا. That's Sabil. So sabil is still the path. So the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to know yourself better and to through the other and to serve the other better, and that's the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam.
To love somebody for the sake of Allah.
Naam.
It's also, I think, it's beneficial to you for the sake of yourself. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ.
It's for the sake of your true self, not for the sake of your small self. فهكذا هو في سبيل الله. You see, when we say selfless, selfless with the small self, it's with the big self. It's for the big self. الذات العالية, it's for your, absolutely, you will be the one. فلنفسه, it means it will be for your ruh, it will be for your full potential, it will be for your beauty, it will be for your ruh, it will be to make yourself a better human being. Also, it will be, you will be benefiting from that, absolutely. لبيك.
I know that you were mentioning that when you are doing something, it should be for the benefit of that person. But you meet many people who are in difficult situations in relationships or in a particular circumstance that they have, and they actually don't feel a good feeling towards the other person, but they want to be able to do good in that relationship or have a good akhlaq with that person. But they're not feeling positive towards that person. For example, a wife who's having a lot of stress with her husband or having arguments, telling her, for example, that, doing this piece of Islam means that you're doing it for, you do whatever you do, you cut short an argument or you don't add fuel to a fire because you love that man. It can be hard for that person to hear that because you're actually not feeling that.
Okay, you tell her because you love the good for that man and you want to make him a better person. Okay. And you will see miracles if you do it with that intention. While when you do it with the intention, I just want to have peace, I will break the conversation short, or I'm not going to argue because I want to have peace, you won't have peace. You want to have peace, you will have cold war. Cold war is never peace.
Not saying just because you want peace, but saying do it because you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you have that relationship with Him. And He's asking you to be the best person you can be, regardless of...
What? How is it? Can't be regardless. How can you be the best person like in a bubble? We are always related to others. If you are the best person, you are the best person to others. You cannot be the best person in a bubble. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to be the best for others, you mean you have to love them. It can't be. You understand? You have to, it cannot be regardless. I cannot love him. I can't really forgive him. I can't love him. But I have to do it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah is asking me to be that way. No, it can't be. It's wrong.
This is like a very advanced way of thinking. This is going to blow my mind. When I'm going to go home, I'm going to readjust my whole life. Like you said. Because this is like completely new to me. You know what I mean? Like I understand that everything's from God. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I understand it on that level. But that way you're saying today is very advanced. And it was going to take me a couple of days to marinate on what you said.
Please, we need to marinate.
Marinate, yeah.
Indeed. You understand? It can't be just, I want to be, I'm going to be nice to that person just because Allah wants me to be nice to people. But I have no feeling towards that person. No. That it's a level, you can do it. You can do it, but not being contented. You can do it like what? Again, in order to go back to the key word of this class, the last session, the highlight of the last session, in order to. You can do it in order to get it. So I am going to treat my husband nicely, even though I don't have a love for him in this moment, in order to have love, and that's the hadith. ألا أدلكم على شيء إذا فعلتموه تحاببتم أفشوا السلام بينكم. And that's the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he says, you are not going to enter Jannah until you actually love each other. Until you actually have iman. And you won't have iman, which is love for God, until you actually, truly, genuinely love each other. And then the Sahaba were blown by this. I mean, the ego wants to have that private relationship with God and escape from everyone else. I don't want to deal, because the egotistical level, the egoist, the egoist? The egoist, you understand? He wants to have that egotistical relationship with God. God is mine, and you know what? Who cares about that? We see it. For the egoist, he wants, the egoist, when he enters a fellowship, for example, he cannot be a member in that fellowship. Say, I can be with the Shaykh, but everyone else, you are egoist. I feel I love the Shaykh, but I can't relate to everyone else, because you are egoist. And you do not actually love the Shaykh. You will have to take something for yourself from the Shaykh. You cannot love the Shaykh and do not love his students. Never. It can never happen. And you cannot love Allah and hate his messengers. I want to be in my bubble with God. God doesn't come in your bubble. In order to go to God, you need to become a drop and drop back into the ocean of God, and then you will be melted with all the other drops. You cannot invite God to your bubble away from everyone else. لا مستحيل. لا لا. Some people, they try to understand the poems of Rabi al-Adawiyya like that. No, it can never. It's not like that. You cannot invite God to your ego, to your bubble. Ajib. Never. The people, they invented that at-takfir wal-hijra. They invented that movement of at-takfir wal-hijra. Everyone is lost. Allah al-Musta'an. Their slogan was the word Allah al-Musta'an. You find many people that Allah al-Musta'an today. Allah al-Musta'an is good. It's good to say Allah al-Musta'an. It's better to say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah wa hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. It's a dhikr. But ala kulli hal, Allah al-Musta'an is good. But the people of Takfir al-Hijra, from Sayyid Qutb and his brother after that, and they invented that thing, and they called themselves the Takfir al-Hijra after that. They were called by at-Takfir al-Hijra. So they considered everyone as kafir, and they just, we are migrating, we are going somewhere else. We are going to Takfir al-Hijra. It's very easy for the ego to do so. It's very easy for the ego to do so. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-jama'ah, be with the group, be with the group, be with the group. That's why Salat al-jama'ah is 27 degrees or 40 or 41 or 70 or 1,000 degrees more than the Salat of individual, because it's very easy for the ego to feel all the jama'ah are lost and let me go in my bubble and I will invite my God to my bubble, and you will be in your bubble, you will be in your illusionary God. You are not going to be with God. God is with the jama'ah or not. The hadith says it clearly. You won't enter the kingdom of the Lord, Al-Jannah, this hidden bliss. What does it mean? Jannah means the hidden, the unfathomable grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You won't be allowed to enter this unfathomable grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Jannah. This rahmah so dense that you disappear in it, you won't be able even to see yourself in it. Al-Jannah. This hidden rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this unfathomable, this beyond reach. Beyond grasp, beyond reach. Grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until you have true faith. Until you have true love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you won't have that until you love each other. And then the Sahaba blown away. And how am I going? You see, because it's easy to, I love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you do not experience the love with another human being. I'm serving God. How? How is it that? How does that look? I'm serving God. How does that look? Giving him to drink? Giving him food? Cooking for him? How does that look? How does that look? Serving God is serving within serving. It's truthfulness within serving others. So, from حتى تؤمنوا حتى تحابوا is to take the iman from the abstract to the experiential. Because it's very easy to say, I'm a mu'min, I love God, but I don't love anyone else. عجيب. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. What are you talking about? If you truly love God, love me and follow me. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the verse in the Quran, from the abstract to the experiential. Because it's very easy to claim, I love God, I want God, I serve God for the sake of God. It's very easy to claim. You can claim anything you want. You want to claim that you are the best judge on earth? And you are a barista? Bismillah, claim it. You will find people who will follow you. Oh yeah, every liar will find people who will follow him. لا يخلو دجال من جماعة أتباع والعياذ بالله. You will find. Claim anything you want. So from the abstract to the experiential, you won't have that love. Don't think that, because if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam just said, you won't enter the paradise until you believe, until you have faith. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, we have faith. But you won't have faith, you won't have the love of God until you actually find that love for each other. Oh. This is more challenging because it is more real. Some people, they come, I love God, but I have a hard time loving people. Because illusion is easier than the reality. That's why. The love that you are claiming for God is illusion. And you are having a hard time loving people because that's the reality. Because you cannot love God and hate people. It can't happen. It can't. How? Tell me, how does that look, loving God? How does it look? It's the love within love. It's when you love Him within the love that you love. The fuel in the reality, the truth in your love for people. Otherwise, how كيفاش هذا يشبه لشنو هذا؟ And then from the experiential, he gave them the technique to answer your question. So he gave them the technique. When they told, Ya Rasulullah, how can we love each other? Okay? تحاببوا حتى تحبوا أفشوا السلام بينكم. Spread peace. There is this exercise that these people of mindfulness, they do today. Say salam to someone and look in his eyes or in her eyes for a few minutes. What's the name of it? It's the namaste. It's the true namaste. It's just before making the martial art, what do they do to each other? Before bowing, they look to each other straight in the eyes. I'm not going to fight with you. You are me and I am you. We are one. I bow to the God within you. The God within me is bowing, is recognizing the God within you. Or the good within me is acknowledging the good within you. Ajib. Love. A woman came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and told him, I cannot love my husband. What was his instruction? Smile to him every time he comes, and come a few days later. And he met her after that. Do you still want to divorce? Ya Rasulullah, he's the most beloved. What changed it? She started smiling to him. But that's not faking it. That's faking it in order to make it. And that's different. So we go back to that highlight of the last session. In order to. فإن لم تبكوا فتباكوا فإن لم تجدوا فتواجدوا. That's in order to find that love. So that's expressing the love, manifesting the good in order to find the reality of it. It's not to have peace. Big difference. That's الكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس. That's when you hide. I am really frustrated, but I will hide it. And I will smile in order to be able to become that person, and in order to be able to become that person who would smile to you really to benefit you. So it is benefiting you. If it is in order to, it's done. If you go to work in order to have money to go to Hajj with, and you die, you will find the Hajj in your book. Because it is in order to. Labbayk.
I just wanted to respond. You were saying, what does it look like when we say we love God? For many people, it looks like I attend a class, I attend a mawlid, I cry when I hear Quran. It doesn't mean I have to be nice to people or someone in my family. It's that I have all these special feelings that are maybe I feel is unique.
This is satanic. This is Satanism. This is the true definition of Satanism. Wallahi, that's how Shaitan was. He served. He had special feelings, deep, intense feelings with God. Really. But he couldn't love any single angel with him. That's Satanism. What are we talking about? The religion is love your neighbor. It's not written in, love for others is what you love for yourself. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Sayyidina Aissa, love thy neighbor. Love your neighbor. What kind of religion is? If you are so consumed in yourself, you are in your bubble. And God won't come to your bubble. Wait until the day of judgment. He will just pop your bubble and you won't find anything. God will never accept to come to the prison that you put yourself in. Free yourself, remove the boundaries, love others, you will find God there. He will never come to your bubble. Abada. La ilaha illallah. And that's the meaning of shepherd. That's the meaning of father. And this is it. Fathering the humanity selflessly. Mothering the humanity selflessly. If you are so consumed, it's all about me. It's all about the hal that I feel. It's all about what I'm getting from the class. It's all about the emotion that I'm getting from the class, or the tears that I'm getting, or I would call it nirvana or whatever. In my dictionary, I call it nirvana. Hal, yani. That's whatever. False hal, I call it nirvana. I'm getting, or the so-called sweetness, it's all about me then. It's all about Allah. It's not about he. No. And if you want to train yourself to get what is about he, it's about he, it's not about you, let it be about the other. The whole idea of having spiritual mentor and to have a prophet on earth. What did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ask from Sayyidina Umar? Huh? Love me more than you love yourself, because like that you will be able to love God. Find someone and love him more than yourself. That's why al-Jannah تحت أقدام الأمهات. Jannah is so close from mothers. It's like it's under their feet. But they need to walk on it. They need to ground themselves. It's under their feet. Doesn't mean that they are inside it. It means that it's so close from them. Why? Because selflessness is given to mothers. Selflessness is just given to mothers. It's so natural to mothers. Jannah is yours. Just claim it. You are so close. Selflessness. Because selflessness is so easy for mothers. But it doesn't mean that all mothers are selfless. No, but it's so easy. They can just pick the fruit. Just walk on it. It's under your feet. It's there. It's right there. It's تحت أقدامك. It's right there. Just walk. It's right there. Start walking. You'll find it. That's why الجنة تحت أقدام الأمهات. Not because the big sacrifices that they did. Oh, now they talk about the big sacrifice. My mother never. Wallahi. And that song, I thought she wrote it. And it was not a sacrifice. And what did they do? I haven't seen a true mother who would keep reminding her children what did she do for them, what she has done for them. I know. They do everything. They give themselves up, and they give everything to their children, and they will never. I did this for you. I did. It's so strange. Fathers sometimes they do it, but they do it to build you. If they are true fathers, otherwise. Their bubble. They are within their bubble. They can, they are not achieved fathers. God is motherhood within motherhood. Is fatherhood within fatherhood. Is brotherhood within brotherhood. Is sisterhood within sisterhood. Is love within love. Life within life. That's how you find him. Within Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. He gave it to us. It's Ar-Rahman. You want to find me in the relations. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahim in your Rahim. Oh. ألا تشرك بي وبالوالدين إحسانا وذي القربى. عجيب. You're talking about Tawheed and you are telling me my fathers, my parents, my neighbors, and ذي القربى والجار بالجنب وابن السبيل والجار ذي القربى والجار بالجنب. عجيب. Look. The verses of Tawheed are always, they go, do not associate partners to God, and immediately. And the father, mother, your brothers, your sisters, your neighbor, you just told me to not associate partners, and you are reminding me of all of these people now. Yes. Because in relating to them, for their own sake, you will be relating to me. Because my name is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, you will find me in your relationship with others. Otherwise, you will miss me. You will never find God outside your relationship with others. Mustahil. Your illusionary God, yes. Your illusionary God, the God, Salaam Alaikum, the God that fits your standards, yes, you can find him in your تفضلوا, sit please, on the chair. Yeah, alhamdulillah. The God the illusionary God, your illusionary God, the fake God, yes, you can find him without relating to anyone else. But the true God, you will only find him and start relating to him when you have true and beautiful relationship with others. The love of God is your love within, it is truth within your love for others. And that's the meaning of for the sake of God. Something else? Comment? Labbaik.
Which is why marriages have religion.
Huh?
Which is why marriage is.
This is also, that's another way. Marriage is half of the religion, but because when you get married, you get so close. You get the tool, marriage, and I feel shy, but when I talk, I mean, the sexual relationship, the sacred dimension of it, it's a deep sujood. My teacher told me, how should I treat my wife? He told, she's your prayer mat. Treat her as you would treat your prayer mat. What? It's a deep thing. And that's how we understand Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talking. This wife who wanted to divorce her husband, he told her, did you actually have a good relation? What we call physical. It's not physical, it's a sacred thing. She said, no, not yet. He said, no, wait until you get that and then revise your decision. Another one. It's not because that will create, no. If you do it for your sake, if you do it unsacred, even if you have the most sacred marriage and you celebrate your marriage with the imam and celebrate your marriage in the church and celebrate your marriage everywhere else and have 10 contracts of marriage, and if you do the sexual relationship to please your sake, to please yourself, in my dictionary, it's adultery. It's a sacred thing. You are doing it. You are sharing something. It's another realm of existence. It's something very deep. And if you do it with... The Sahaba used to do takbir. Ibn Umar, before starting what they call today intercourse, he makes takbir. He says, Allahu Akbar. Takbir ihram. It's entering the salat. It's another dimension, my brother. It's another dimension.
The brothers are going to need their own halaqah later.
No, it doesn't. No. We are talking in the sacred level. This is not something that...
No, I'm just saying.
That needs to be spoken in a context, brothers alone or sisters alone.
No, because of the questions that we'll have, because you just opened
I know.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So the brothers, they need to stop getting married because they are dealing with their addictions. Okay? They need to stop getting married because of, I need to deal with something in my body. Please don't get married like that. Don't bring someone in your life for that sake. La. It cannot be a foundation for marriage. Never. And then this brother will start using, so I know myself, I need a wife with like this and her, it needs to be like that. And you know what? Stop, don't get married. Learn how to give selflessly and then go and get married. Learn how to forgive selflessly and then go and get married. Learn how to, إنما أخاك, if the wife is closer than the brother. Your true brother is the one who ومن إذا ريب الزمان صدعك فرق فيك شمله ليجمعك. Your brother is the one who truly benefits you. And Imam Ali is saying, and when the time is يعني صدعك when the
The time you live in. The time in which you live.
in the time in which you live
Has broken you apart.
breaks you apart or has broken you apart, this brother will فرق شمله will break himself apart for your sake to bring you together. If this is the brother, what about the husband or the wife? We see them. We see these true people who live in that kind of relationship. Our grandmothers, our grandfathers. We think, oh, it was patriarchal society. أيوة مليح أنت تفهم صح. It was a patriarchal society. Yes, yes. My grandmother used to wash the feet of my grandfather. And she used to put her head like this when he's shouting. But the love that was between them was something else. And he was a kid. She was 13-year-old when she got married, and he was 19-year-old, but he was immature. And she was the mature. And he left her with kids, and he went to fight with Nazis because he believed that Germans have justice. And she worked, she did everything to bring him together, not to save her marriage, because I would look so bad if I get divorced. And people were lining up. She comes from, had she told him go, his own brother would be at the door. Because she truly loved him. And he truly loved her. She was feeling loved by him already. يعني كل حال. So marriage is to give selflessly and to forgive selflessly, and we do not know it. People today, they get married to have a halal sexual relationship. Is it? I know many people who are married and who don't even have that sexual relationship. Are they less married than others? If those who are having that sexual relationship know the bliss that these people are having or living in, they would redefine their what does it mean? Halal. That's it, marriage, to have halal sexual relationship. لا لا. That's very shallow. No. We do not get married for ourselves, we get married for the other. If you want it to be for the sake of God. And the most successful marriage is, I'm going to go and marry that person to help him. And many saints, only saints actually, they could do that. And they really transformed those people. The teacher of Shahnaz, she made her student marry an atheist. And you go and marry him because it's only you can do something. Because she knows that her student was a saint, go and marry. That atheist one is now one of the best scholars to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the world. It works. If there is something that works for sure, not it might work, these things, intentions, selfless intention. Don't ask, it work. It will, not it would, not it might, not try it. It will work. Give selflessly. Subhanallah. Forgive selflessly too. Not forgive because we want peace. Please, I don't want spare me from his headache. Why you are keeping silent? He's abusing. No, it's a headache. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. What is that? What's that? No, it shouldn't be like that. If you are going to keep silent, you keep silent because you want him to become better. Because you know if you keep arguing وهكذا and for your own sake, or at least in order to become in that level. والله ورسوله أعلم. نعم, it's in the same way. Under the feet of the Jannah is under the feet of mothers, and you have half of it already if you are married. وهكذا. Indeed. You wanted to say something, my brother?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, coming back to your
Yeah.
the question by the brother that deals with people who, I mean, these are common people, nice people with some common sense, but when we're dealing with our own enemies, let's say, for example, Rasulullah,
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
our enemy is Abu Jahl, the what do you call this, the Firaun of his ummah. And you mentioned that Rasulullah fought against Abu Jahl because of him.
Yeah,
Abu Jahl.
not against him.
Not against him.
Yeah.
So how do you reconcile that?
Yeah, we have to understand the Quran first. When talking about Fir'aun, well, how did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell Musa and Harun to talk to the Fir'aun? لعله يزكى لعله يذكر أو يخشى أو أهديك إلى ربك فتخشى. It's all about, and it's clear, Sayyidina Musa, when he spoke to Fir'aun, it's not about, I want my people, don't punish my people, it's about a justice claim. No. The first time he spoke to him, he did not mention, please give me Bani Israel with me, they are not yours. It was not a justice claim. In the beginning, it's for you, Fir'aun, I came to you, I want to guide you to your Lord who created you. Ya Fir'aun. That was the message. It was not to free the children of Israel from Fir'aun. Actually, he told him, تلك منة تمنها علي أن عبدت بني إسرائيل. He wanted to open his eye to something. He told him, through making some of Bani Israel slaves, you gave them a big gift. Because we humbled them. In some of the tafsir, it is like that. Some of the tafsir, we have many understandings, and you can get many meanings from the same verse. طيب. هكذا. How to reconcile that? Reconcile that when you are not fighting, when you are angry. It's like the martial art. I am giving you this message. I want to give you the chance to know that God is great. That God is greater than your own arrogance and strength, and God is greater than my own weakness. I am giving you a chance. And that's why many people, they used to become Muslim during the fight, during the battle. It's not because, they would, when they're worried for their lives, they say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No. Many people, they say, what made you convert? What made you accept the? He said, when I was fighting with my brother, they became brothers. One of the Sahaba, he said, what made you Muslim? He said, I was, during the day of Uhud, I was fighting with this brother. And when I know him, he said, I know his body. I fought with him all my life when we were kids. I always and used to eat more and used to be healthier. And I used to put him down every time. Put him down? Oh. Huh? Knock him down every time. I said, it took me a while. I saw in him strength that I never saw before. I saw in him a calm. I saw in him a confidence I never experienced it with him before. I saw in him qualities I never seen before. In the middle of the fight. He said, I gave him my... Because that's the only way he would spare his life. He said, I gave him this. So he could take me as a prisoner, so I could become Muslim. Many. The seerah is telling us about that. And these are the stories that we need to celebrate. Many people, that's how they convert. In the middle of the fight, not because, worried for their lives. No. They saw something. They saw that God is greater than the weakness of these people. We know that they know them. They were very weak people. And then the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Abdullah bin Mas'ud to Abu Jahl. Talking about Abu Jahl, Fir'aun al-Ummah. He insisted alayhi salatu wasalam. Was a father to humanity, even to Abu Jahl himself. Insisted alayhi salatu wasalam. Abu Jahl now is full of blood and he's about to die. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam insisted to send him whom? Abdullah bin Mas'ud, to talk to him. Who was Abdullah bin Mas'ud? A dwarf. Abdullah bin Mas'ud, he was abused by everyone else. Ibn Ummi Abd, Ibn Ummi Abd, Ibn Ummi Abd, Ibn Ummi Abd. Before that, he sent to him Mu'awwidh wa Mu'adh ibn Ya'fara. Mu'awwidh and Mu'adh, the children of Afra, kids. He wanted to give him a chance. Look, the strength in kids, the strength in this dwarf. That's the language, that's the only language he understood. Couldn't you open your eyes and see that God is greater than your muscles and your big head, and greater than their weaknesses? Still, he couldn't get it. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not say it happy when Fir'aun was killed. He said he was sad. He was the Fir'aun of our ummah. He was my Fir'aun. He did not say the Fir'aun of my ummah. He said he was my Fir'aun. That means he was my paper. He was my Fir'aun. He was my Ra'iyah. But in your Ra'iyah, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said everyone amongst you is a shepherd and he is responsible for his flock, in your flock you will have your black sheep. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam just said, he was my black sheep. He felt that he lost the battle. He wished he could have given him at least Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Said, but he even said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but the Fir'aun of Musa believed in God before he before he died, before he drowned. But my Fir'aun didn't. My Fir'aun insisted. He was telling Abdullah Mas'ud, come dwarf man, cut my head from here. So when Muhammad sees it, he sees me back. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so sad. You will feel sad for that human being. How about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? How about his father? How about his father? He was his father. You understand? He had the same feelings of Sayyidina Nuh calling his son, come, come. And his son telling him, no, I want to go to the mountain. Come. اركب معنا. يا بني اركب معنا. That's the call of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the whole of humanity. يا بني اركب معنا. Oh, my son, come on my ship and the ship of my family. Come on our ship. What was the first time he spoke to Fir'aun? He said, إني أدعوك إلى الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. Talking to his other child, Hiraql. Talking to his other, you will need to talk now and you will understand it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was sending these messages to his children, telling them, come back to your father. I'm inviting you to the name of your Lord, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I'm inviting you to your Lord, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. How to reconcile that? Yes, it's clear. You see how many years Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so patient with Abu Jahl. For how many years he was, he wanted to give him a chance that God is greater than my weakness and God is greater than your strength. And it worked with Abu Sufyan. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam going to Mecca, he sent his uncle Al-Abbas. He told him, Abu Sufyan will come. Abu Sufyan will come. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made him come. If awliya of our time can send a secret invitation, they make you come. And it happened many times. People are in the presence of a Shaykh or a wali said, I couldn't stay in my house. I just came. You were invited. I called you in my heart. You came. It's an art. You can call people in your heart and they come. Subhanallah. How about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He insisted alayhi salatu wasallam to call Abu Sufyan, and he told Abbas before leaving Medina. He told him, Abu Sufyan will come, and they want you to go and see him. You will find him in that place. And when Abu Sufyan was there, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called Abbas. Ya Abbas, Abu Sufyan is here now. Army of 12,000 people. A camp of 12,000 people. A village. Smelled him. A mother would smell her son. Like Yaqub smelled the smell of Yusuf. Understand it. That's the only way to see it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam smelled. And also smelled that Abu Sufyan is closer. Closer and closer. Told him, Abu Sufyan is here now. Go and you will find him there in the middle of the night. Sayyidina Abbas said, I went to the place where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told me, and I found him there. I grabbed him and told him, Abu Sufyan. He said, Naam, Ya Abbas. I'm here waiting for you. I said, I won't reveal my identity to anyone except you. Take me to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after that, told Abbas, after that meeting, he told Abbas, go and take Abu Sufyan. I want you to put him. تفضلوا. Yes. تفضلوا تفضلوا. Bismillah. I want you to put him under the mountain, under the hills, so he can see. Because the language of Abu Sufyan was a language of might. Let him see the might. Because he is the one who knows the most how humiliated I was and how. He saw me in the worst days. And Abu Sufyan was there. And he saw, and he said, your nephew has big might today. Your nephew is so, is a king today. He has a big kingship or royalty. He said, no, it's not the royalty, Abu Sufyan. It's prophethood. And Abu Sufyan saw. And finally he got it. He said, yes, it is prophethood. Indeed, it is prophethood. Indeed, it is prophethood. Inna nubuwwah. You understand how to reconcile that? That's the only way. He never fought to protect himself against anyone or to defend himself against anyone or to build his kingdom on the ruins of other kingdoms. We can say on the ruins. It was always for them. Imam Ali telling him, reminding everyone, in the most difficult battle for Muslims. Why it was the most difficult battle for them? Because it was against some people they hated for centuries. Arab people of Medina, they were so abused and oppressed by the Jews of Medina that they had big hatred for them, towards them. It's a very complicated relationship. Alliance and hatred in the same time. So it was challenging. It was one of the most challenging wars. The war against Quraysh, it was not that challenging because they would find themselves fighting against a father or a brother or a cousin or a neighbor or a child they played with. So to fight against or to fight for these people, to fight these people for these people was natural, because everyone would love to guide his brother, would love to save his, you understand? Yeah? But this is another race. For the first time they are fighting, listen, for the first time they were fighting another race. People who do not even look like them, people who speak a different language, and people who were colonizing their land. People who took their land, people who were really oppressing them, people who did. You understand? The Jews of Medina, they smashed the Arabs of Medina. Big time. They took their lands, they took their oases, they made them fight against each other, they made division. So the Aus and Khazraj, they were like, it was a very difficult fight. Again, the Shaykh, the teacher, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sent this message to his student Ali, and he made him come back to ask loudly a question. Who would ask that question? Doesn't he know the answer, Imam Ali? The day of Khaybar. What was the question? Who knows the story? What was the question that Imam Ali came back to ask? What was the question? Huh? What is my goal in this fight, Ya Rasulullah? What should be my intention? Allah. Imam Ali, after going, he came back. And loudly in front of everyone, Rasulullah, what should be my intention today? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the father, insisted that his children understand the goal and the mission. So he made this story just to remind them, and Imam Ali came back, and the best of his students came back, and he asked the question loud. Sometimes your teacher comes after the class, I want you to ask this question because I want that question to be asked. Because I want everyone else to get that answer. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent that message, and Imam Ali came back and told him, for what intention? What should be my goal? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من حمر النعم. Your goal is to guide them. Full stop. How to guide them? To show them that God is greater than them. That's the only way you can guide a human being, is to show him that God is greater than his own weaknesses, and God is greater than his own strength, and God is greater than him. That's it. That's it. Now how to reconcile? Well, Was it to take from them the lands that they took from us? No. Was it to claim our oasis that they took? No. Was it to claim our land? No. When a generation of Muslims will be raised like that, only then they will be given the victory in Jerusalem. A generation of Muslims, when these Jews of Jerusalem come to them, they will tell them, stay in your house. The one who enters his home is safe. The one who enters the masjid is safe. The one who enters his synagogue is safe. And the one who enters the parliament or the dar of Abu Sufyan of them will be safe. We are not going to claim back the houses or ancestral houses or anything. Did Rasulullah ﷺ do that when he entered Mecca? Did he claim anything? Only 10 years. 10 years. In the law today, in the law today, there is something called, Asma, where is Asma? What's the name of that institution? In English. When you have possession of something, taqadum, right of? Huh? Not the right of reclamation. There is something you can get it with taqadum. You lose your right over it. So for example, if a piece of land in Canada is 30 years, 30 years. If a piece of land is under the possession of for example, your neighbor take that piece of land and he starts working in it and he doesn't pay you rent and you do not tell him anything, for 30 years it's his. You lose your right of ownership on that land unless you have it written. Rasulullah ﷺ, after 10 years later, he went to Mecca victorious. He could at least have claimed his own home, his own house. Where did he sleep? They evacuated his house for him. You know that? They were expecting that. They took their gold and they took their money. They were expecting the Muhajirin to come and claim their houses. So they took and they left the houses vacant for them. But Rasulullah ﷺ did not claim anything. And think about it. Justice. Let it be. It's beyond that. How to reconcile, it's beyond that. When you fight people, you are not angry against them. Not for you, not to take anything from them. For them. Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam. When we read the seerah, we see it that way. Because we know he is the father of humanity. Read it under that perspective and read it from that angle, you'll be able to read it right. Otherwise, you won't be able to read it. Wallahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Wallahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Any other thing? Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, may this be beneficial for us. May this be instructive, and may this help us to become better people. You wanted to say something?
No.
Ameen. Ameen, Ya Rabbi. May this be beneficial and helpful for us. May this make us better human beings. May this allow us to enter the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safely. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may this help us. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alamin. Sallallahu alaihi wa sallam wa baraka ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi tayyibin tahirin. Fatiha. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin arrahman arrahim maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.